Hi, third graders. Hi, friends. Welcome back to our class read aloud, The War with Grandpa. We're actually starting to get towards the end. Probably have another 2 days today and one more day and we'll be finished. So the last time we had a chapter read, it was at the point where the sister Jenny went to go get the Monopoly game, and she opens it and she realizes there's nothing in here. And so then she figures out there's something fishy going on here. And so she said, she figured out that, something was going on between Grandpa and Peter. And so Grandpa ended up saying hey, I'm going to go get a sweater. And Peter, why don't you go get the game pieces from upstairs? But really what happened, remember, Grandpa gave Peter the game pieces back, and then Peter gave him back his watch. All right, so chapter 31, the shoe drops kerplunk. When it happened, I wasn't ready for it. Of course. It was just an ordinary Wednesday in the middle of the week, a school day. And the first thing I noticed was that my clock radio alarm hadn't gone off at the right time. I always get up at 7 o'clock, but it was already 7:15. I leaped out of bed, tangling my feet in the blanket and falling to the floor. Next thing I noticed was that my slippers, they were gone. I always leave them right along my bedside when I go to sleep. Why weren't they there? I wasted a minute or two looking for them under the bed and in my closet, and that's when it hit me. This was Grandpa's revenge. Now, this morning. That's why my clock was late. That's why my slippers were gone. I rushed off to the bathroom in my bare feet to wash my face and brush my teeth. No toothbrush? It simply wasn't there. But in the plastic glass on the sink, there was a note. Use your finger, it said. What a nuts trick! I stood there like a dummy, half of me wanting to run downstairs to the hall closet where Mom kept a few new toothbrushes, and the other half of me wanted to not waste any time because I was already behind schedule. So I put toothpaste on my finger and brushed my teeth with it. It was disgusting. I ran back to my room in a hurry. I hate being late for anything, but I especially hate being late for school. When I opened my underwear drawer, it was empty. There was another note, and this one said, underwear in the hall closet. So I ran outside into the hallway. There was all my underwear up on the shelf. I grabbed some shorts, grabbed a t-shirt, and ran back to my room and put them on. That's when I looked in my sock drawer, and that's when I saw it was empty too. Now I was mad. I was in a panic, yes, but mad as well. The note in my sock drawer said, socks in the cabinet underneath the bathroom sink. I groaned, and I said a couple words I probably shouldn't have said. Grandpa was turning my getting dressed routine into a treasure hunt. So I ran into the bathroom again, looked underneath the sink in the cabinet where they had my rolled up socks scattered among the ivory soap, the rolls of toilet paper, and a bottle of Mr. Clean. I grabbed a pair of socks and ran back to my room and put them on. By now I figured that Grandpa's dirty tricks weren't over yet. I was right. All of my flannel shirts were hanging on hangers in my closet, and they were still there hanging, but they were all turned inside out. I grabbed one and fixed it and put it on. Naturally, I buttoned it wrong and had to rebutton it. My jeans hanging on the hooks by my belt loop were now inside out as well. I fixed them and put them on. Then I saw that my belt was missing. The heck with it, I thought. I was too late to worry about a little thing like a belt. That's when I discovered that there were no laces in my sneakers. I stood there, staring down, mouth hanging wide open, like the sneakers were hanging. I heard my mom calling from me from the bottom of the stairs, Peter, you're late. Sweetie, hurry. Inside one of the sneakers was a note. Laces on the kitchen countertop. I felt my feet sticking into the sneakers, trying to run down the stairs, but I couldn't. Without laces, the sneakers just kept slipping around, so I had to walk like a crazy man, trying to keep them on my feet. I came downstairs slowly. In the second floor hallway, Grandpa had his head stuck out around the door, and he was laughing. Hey, Pete, he called out. How's it going this morning? It's not funny, I said. War is hell, is what Grandpa said back. He laughed again, which only made me madder. I finally made it to the kitchen. I flip-flopped across the floor in my loose sneakers, practically falling into the chair at the table. Peter, my mom said, why would you leave your sneaker laces on the kitchen counter? I took a big gulp of my orange juice that was in front of my bowl of cereal. Did you want me to wash your shoelaces? Mom asked. She was looking kind of puzzled. No, I said. It was just a joke, and I started to eat my Cheerios really fast. Jenny was already finished with breakfast. Well, you're really late, Peter, she said. I know it, dummy, I shouted at her. She looked at me like I was crazy, which maybe I was a little. I better put your laces back in your sneakers then while you finish your breakfast, Mom said. I slipped my sneakers off, which wasn't that hard to do, and Mom sat down beside me and replaced them for me. I had just had enough breakfast by this time. I was mad, I was upset, and I wasn't hungry anyway. I took the sneaker that Mom had relaced and put it on and tied it up. She was still working on the other one. Could you try to hurry? I said to her. The front door slammed shut, which meant that Jenny was leaving the house. At least she wasn't going to be late for school. I just don't understand why you left your laces down here, Mom said. She handed me the other sneaker and I put it on. Then I lit out, running for the stairs, zoomed up to my room like a bullet. I was ready to get out. I was ready to find out, though, that Grandpa had hidden my backpack. But I could find my backpack. It was under my desk. The only thing was, my backpack was empty. My books were missing, and inside my backpack was another stupid joke. Books inside luggage in storage room down the hall. So I ran like crazy to the room where we stored the luggage. Grandpa was so devilish. I wanted to hit him on the head with a suitcase. He had put one book in each piece of luggage. So I had to unzip every suitcase to get each of my books out. I stuffed my books into my backpack, ran down the stairs to the cloak closet, grabbed my jacket, threw it on, and dashed out the door. It was 6 blocks from my house to school. I ran until I was out of breath. Then I walked as fast as I could. As I rounded the corner near school, I could see that the schoolyard was empty, which meant that all the classes were going upstairs to their room already. I ran across the playground, and just as I got to the entrance door, I remembered something. I forgot my lunch. I ran upstairs, got to my class just as Mr. P, my homeroom teacher, was calling out attendance. I was so out of breath that when he called my name, I could barely say, "Here." Steve looked at me across and asked, "Why so late?" "You wouldn't even believe it if I tried to tell you," I told him. Chapter 32, The Last Strategy Conference. We were eating lunch at our usual table in the lunchroom. Wait a minute, that's not exactly right. Billy and Steve were eating lunch. I was begging for lunch. I got half an apple from Steve. Billy had a liverwurst sandwich, which he absolutely hated, so he gave me half of it. I hated it too, so we both just ate the bread and left the liver part. Steve said that he would give me half of his milk to drink. The second half, he said. Luckily, a nice kid named Nathaniel Robbins gave me a peanut butter cookie. I told the boys about my terrible morning, and they laughed like crazy. "Ha! Stealing your shoelaces," Steve said. "Now that's a master joke." "It was a rotten trick," I said. I like how he put each book in a different suitcase," Billy said, and he began laughing again. "Wait a minute," I said. "Whose side are you on anyways?" I took a sip of the second half of Steve's milk, which was warm and hateful. One sip was enough. We walked outside to the playground and sat down on the steps in the sun. "You're going to get your grandpa back, aren't you?" Steve said. "Oh, well, of course," I said, which was, of course, what I was going to do. "Not something simple, I hope," said Steve. "I think this calls for massive retaliation." "Oh, it's not going to be something simple," I said. "You've got to really get him this time," Billy said. "But get him how?" I asked. "I don't know," Billy said. "Maybe paint his hair or something?" I wasn't even listening to Billy because I had already decided what I would do. It was something that I had thought about doing before any of this, but it just seemed too awful. But after Grandpa, what he had done to me, it seemed like the right thing to do. "Look, guys," I said, "I know what I'm going to do. And it's terrible. And I probably shouldn't do it, but I'm going to. And I'll tell you one other thing. If this doesn't work, I'm going to surrender. You can't, Billy said. Oh, yes, I can, I said. I've learned to live in my stupid room, and I won't like it, but I'll do it, or else Grandpa will get me back in a more terrible way than I can even imagine. You're a chicken, Billy said. And you're right, I said. I think I figured something out. War? You see, war isn't really much fun at all. And that brings us to chapter 33, which is titled The Last Attack, and we will share that next time. Whew, it's getting so good. I wonder what his next attack is going to be. Well, my friends, I hope you're having a great day, and I will see you again soon. All right, take care.